Mark Breland and Deontay Wilder go back and forth in the media, knuckleheads. This is a sad but also kind of funny saga that I wanted to discuss with you guys. We've been covering on this channel. You know my position. I think what Deontay Wilder said and did to Mark Breland is disgraceful, but now we've got more comments from Mark Breland on the entire situation and a retort from Deontay Wilder. Now, if you remember, Deontay Wilder has accused Mark Breland of a lot of ridiculous things, including spiking his water, which I found to be outrageous, and I'm sure Mark Breland did as well. And Mark Breland at first didn't really respond to that, but it looks like Mark Breland was recently on an interview, and he was asked questions, and he kind of opened up about it a bit more. We'll go through that, and then Deontay Wilder issued his responses. So Breland, when asked about his falling out with Deontay Wilder, said that his whole thing with Deontay, that's a part of boxing, I guess. His career is done now, so I'm done, he's done, I'm done with him. He also said that one thing I'd like to say is that he's got a lot of power, and that's all. I wish him well, and that's it. All he has is power. Well, we'll see how far that takes him. That's all I want to say. So, this is Breland kind of telling it the way it is, right? At least the way he sees it. And the way I see it, that Deontay Wilder has good power. But nothing really else besides that. I mean, I would say he's got pretty good heart too. But besides power, I mean, Deontay Wilder doesn't really have any special boxing skill. He went on to say that, he didn't care about the result of a third fight between Wilder and Fury. When asked about the accusations against him and tampering with the water, he said, I mean, so many people know me. My character speaks for itself. Spiking the water. If you look at the tapes or whatever and stuff like that, you don't ever see the water in my hands. And regardless of that, I'm there to help you, not to hurt you. See, some people can't take a loss. Now when you lose, don't blame everybody. Go back and think about yourself. This is something that we've said on this channel multiple times about Deontay Wilder. He seems to have or be having a lot of difficulty taking the loss to Tyson Fury. He says on Wilder accusing Fury of tampering the gloves, he says if he did, which I doubted very much, I don't know, I didn't see nothing. But still at the same time, he's not going to beat Tyson Fury. And JD's was standing right there when he was getting his hands wrapped, and he didn't say nothing. So Mark Breland, kind of stating the obvious there. I mean, doesn't think he could beat Fury regardless. And JD's was right there when the hands were being wrapped. So what's the issue? And then, he goes on about how special he thinks Fury is. At least that's what he's asked about. He says, I mean, one thing is he's a very good boxer, but he's good at mind games. He can get you frustrated just by talking. He says, to be honest, I could beat Anthony Joshua, so he doesn't hold Anthony Joshua in high regard when asked about the Fury-Joshua fight. He says he doesn't have a jab at all. I would out-jab him. I don't think he'd be able to touch me, and Fury will beat Joshua up, something I agree with as well. He was asked about Wilder listening to his advice in training, and he says the proof is in the fights. Look at the fights. If you look at any of the fights where I'm the trainer or pro, you'll see nothing like it. Nothing, because he does what he wants to do. No, he didn't listen to me. Not at all. So Breland is saying that Wilder never listened to him. Obviously this is problematic. He was then asked why he worked with Wilder if he didn't listen to him for so long, which is interesting. And he said, first of all, if I boxed the guys he boxed, I'd beat them. That's the bottom line. You said he had some good wins or a good win, just the Ortiz fight. That's it. So, I mean, I guess what he's saying there is, he was winning the fights, so I was just sticking around, but he wasn't really listening to me. About Wilder having a good jab in the Stavern fight, he responded that you could beat Stavern, talking to the interviewer. So that's kind of a dig at Stavern's skills, which, he's entitled to as a coach say that. He went on to be asked if he thought Wilder has a good jab. He says, no, he used the jab one time in the Stavern fight, and that was it. The whole thing is, his motto is, you got to be perfect through 12 rounds because I've got power, that's it. So there he's saying, Wilder's relying too much on his power. He went on to say that Wilder never hits the heavy bag. He doesn't hit the speed bags right. And he doesn't jump rope. So that's very interesting and revealing information that I think, if you take it for what it's worth and believe it, explains a lot of Deontay Wilder's deficiencies, especially his poor footwork with the lack of jump rope and just his weird kind of stance and the way he punches and everything else. Yeah, he's got power, but it looks like he relied too much on that power, which is something I agree with. Wilder seems to have retorted to this within the last day or so. And I want to share with you guys what he says. He says, "This man's been around me for so long, I fed this dude. Even when many people thought I outgrew him, many wanted me to fire him, I kept him on board. And to hear these things he's saying, it's crazy." I'm not sure what he means by to hear the things he's saying is crazy. I'm not sure when you accuse somebody of tampering with your water and spiking your water, do you expect them to just sit back and not say anything? I don't know. This is very strange. Wilder continues, says, "It's like, I'm the one that fed you. I'm the one that kept you around. You should have been gone a long time ago because of the love that I had to continue to give you a job. Even after the fact, with all the medical issues that he personally has going on with himself, I still kept him around. For him to betray me and say all this stuff, it's a little hurtful only for these simple facts of how close I had him with my family." Again, very weird, for him to betray you and to say all this stuff about you is hurtful. Dude, you said he spiked your water. You had him around as a trainer. Did you not trust him to this level to where you would accuse him of spiking your water? I mean, if that's the case, if you really distrusted him to that point, and it's on you. This is very weird right here. There's a lot of gaslighting and deflection, if you ask me. It says, "It just allows me to believe that he had some deeper rooted about me. I can understand why. What the F did I do? He knows what type of person I am. He knows I look out for people, something deeply embedded in him for him to feel some kind of way." This is Wilder, in my opinion, trying to virtue signal, take the moral high ground here. And I just think he can't, considering the stuff that he said about Breland already. So then Wilder continued, "Where's it all coming from? Is it because where I was in life and your career was short? Could be a jealousy thing. I can't understand where it's coming from. We know what the deal is. We know what's up, man. You would want to debunk something that we all have proof and evidence of." Again, I don't know what proof and evidence he's talking about because I've never seen any proof of the spiked water or anything else that Mark Breland supposedly did. I mean, I think Deontay Wilder really should be careful when he says stuff like this from a legal standpoint. He says, "I told Jay I believe Mark did something to the water. I'm telling you, I know how I felt in the ring." How you felt in the ring, I don't think is enough to accuse somebody that's your trainer for forever of spiking your water. I mean, I don't know. I just don't see the logical connection. How I feel in the ring, this guy spiked my water. Maybe if the water tasted funny and then as soon as I drank it, I felt dizzy. Maybe if he said something like that, it would make sense. This just doesn't make sense to me. Then he goes on to say that wasn't me. If people understood how I felt, this man been jealous of me. Now this is all coming out. I told Jay, keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. Even the first fight, he wasn't even in the ring. He left as soon as the fight was over with like he was mad or something. The second fight, it was the same. I want to speak on that. I've personally seen trainers get upset with their fighters and leave when the fighter isn't listening. So, you have Breland on the record now saying that this guy didn't listen to me. So if he left, then I'm sure it had to do with you not performing the way he wanted you to. Wilder continues, says his energy was off. He didn't want to be around, as if he already knew something was up. Now look at him. He's running to the UK to do interviews. He's talking about the end of my career. It's only the beginning of greatness. But for you, my friend, it is the end. I actually thought, Breland handled this very amicably. I think a lot of people would probably sue for defamation in this industry. And I didn't think Breland said much about it at all until he was pressed on it in this interview. And even in this interview, I didn't think he revealed that much. I think he just kind of said what everybody's thinking. "I'm so glad I won't die broke," Wilder continued. He was definitely part of what was going on. His energy said it during the fight. During the first fight and in the second, it followed, you can't break a king. A king is a king. He goes into all this king stuff. A king knows how to get back up, dust himself off, continue to lead. Because he has people on the outside, inside, waiting for the king to get up. I'm a king. I know the responsibility I hold in the world. I'm glad it came out. It all makes sense. About the king thing, a king also knows when to be accountable for his actions. If you did something wrong, just fess up to it, dude. Just say it. The only explanation I can get out of this, he was jealous of me in my career. I don't see nothing else because I didn't even have a relationship with Mark outside of boxing. Maybe he wanted to be closer to me. I don't know what it is for him to come out and say all this shit. All of a sudden, you put another man on the bus. So many people already ridiculed him and doubted him. Wow. For him to say that Breland put him under the bus, that's kind of, I'm actually concerned at this point reading this. He's wrong for that shit. You did that to your own kind. I'm just so happy that I don't. If the shoe was on the other foot, they'd prosecute me. They'd have been all over me. I ain't going nowhere. They can hate all day. Hating a king like me isn't going to do the world no good. Let him do what he do. He's a bitch. Putting another man on the bus because you're feeling guilty. Man up. You did the crime. Man up. I mean, if he did the crime, so sue him, I don't know. This is just disturbing to me. My thoughts. I'm 100% Team Breland on this. I don't see anything that Deontay Wilder is talking about. I don't understand it. I think he just lost the boxing match, and he's having a hard time reconciling that with his mindset. A champion's mindset, no doubt. Having a hard time reconciling that. But look, you can't always win. You fought the better man, and it takes a real man to say you fought the better man. Knuckleheads, tell me what you think about this entire back and forth in the comment below. Do you believe Breland or do you believe Wilder? Smash the like button when you're done with that. Hit the subscribe button, the bell notification icon to join. Also, hit the join button, man. For just $5 a month, 16 cents a day, you can help me continue to build the channel and the only kickboxing promotion that matters. By joining the channel, you get access to our pay-per-view events as a part of joining. You also get discounts to FightersRep gear, like this hoodie. You can get them in the link below as well. And you get to be part of our members-only meeting on the first of every month. Knuckleheads, I look forward to hearing what you guys have to say about this one.